I'm too young. Today we're talking about age. Specifically the I'm too young self-limiting belief card. Let's talk about it. Roll it. Welcome back to another video where we've been exploring this whole idea of self-limiting beliefs and how they cause us to really fall behind in what we're trying to achieve. And then, of course, they take over sometimes to the point where we can't start, we can't move forward, and we can't really make any progress in the growth we're looking for. I'm too young is one of these, and I'm too young causes many people to not start. Now, the first thing I'm going to say about this is that everybody goes through this. They feel that they're too young to start something. They feel like they don't have enough experience, and then they allow that thought process of negativity to take over to the point where they don't even want to try. And what will happen is when you get older, you will regret this. Guaranteed, everybody does. The goal is to really push back this self-limiting belief, and in order to do this, we're going to follow a couple tips. Number one, we have to look at ourselves and say to ourselves, what's our value? What are we worth to anybody in exchange for dollars? Do we have a skill set that is high paying and we're going to be able to move forward in that direction, usually a career? Or do we have an idea that will really make somebody a lot of money, so maybe I can get an investor involved and then we can work together and start making money? I can go on with more, but the goal here is to really establish what's your value. Think about this from a logical perspective, not an emotional perspective. A lot of the times, young people will be talking to me coming fresh out of high school, and they're going, well, I don't need to go to school, I don't need to do this, I don't need to do that, I can just get moving. And I ask them, what is your value in doing that, and how do you plan to get over the hurdles? Their idea has not settled in on the hurdles, their expectations are way too high, and it causes chaos as they start moving forward in what they're trying to do. And this is an example of people who have a strong emotional thought of how much their value is, and that value is incredibly high. On the other side though, the value that they see or perceive, you would say, is very low, and instead of starting in any one of these situations that they have regarding what they can do in order to make progress, well, it doesn't allow them to start because their emotions are telling them it's down here, not up here. And then all of a sudden they don't make a move on anything that they may be good at. So we have to address this, and we have to ask ourselves, what is our value? And then we have to ask ourselves, what's the expectation that we should be really focusing on? And here's a critical thing. When you're feeling that, hey, I'm too young to do something, the goal is to then ask ourselves how to switch that focus from I'm too young to, hey, what is the expectation I can work towards in a short-term time, and of course the expectations in a long-term time. What this will do is automatically get your focus thinking in what needs to be done, and we usually call this a plan. And in that plan, we'll ask ourselves, hey, what do I need to do to get from point A to point B? Now, I've been talking to a lot of photographers who are struggling, and they were asking me, well, what should I do with my situation? I want to get into a certain field of photography, but I don't have any experience. So what's your problem then? Really think about it. Experience. You need to grow experience. So how do we do that? Well, if I wanted to get a new area of photography and I wanted to really make a move in that area, say I want to get into portraiture and I want to be in a portrait scenario with models, well then, I would reach out to models and be like, hey, can I work with you? I'm just learning and I just want to work for free to gain experience. Very simple. Simple example. Now, every situation is different. Let's look at that situation and ask ourselves, what is the plan I need to set up so I can get there? I need to build experience. Once we start going from point A to point B, from point B to point C, we start to see a pattern of the things that we need to be doing on a daily basis. And of course, those things that we need to do to improve our skill sets. And those things that we need to do that come from experience and those from learning the theory. There's two aspects usually to everything when we talk about growth, the theory and the experience. Accountability is the critical factor here, and when you are young, you need to build that experience, and yes, you gotta do that thing they call the hustle, and you gotta hustle, that's it. Now, once you start focusing on this plan, that self-limiting belief starts to move backwards, dissipate, and what will occur is that you will start to get yourself into opportunities where in your mindset, this idea will start to come back in that you're too young. However, the focus will be, hey, if I have been doing all this, then definitely I can maybe do a big jump here and try this out. In which case, you're being honest with whoever is giving you the opportunity, and you tell them, hey, this is where I'm at. I know I'm young, but this is what I've done, and I know I can do something good there. In the case that we use as an example, photography, well, that's where you would say, I can do that kind of photography, and I just need a better camera. Give me the opportunity. I'll buy the better camera. I'll make it work. Fear will come back in. However, focus on the plan, and what you'll find is that you will start to see yourself championing yourself in the process. It's going to be you doing this, no one else. And once you see that success coming in, well, now our goal is to just make sure that we maintain our expectations, and we got to be accountable to it. And this is the critical factor. We don't want to start growing those expectations too high, because if we grow them too high and we establish more opportunities and we fail in one of them to reach that big expectation, well, guess who's behind us? That's self-limiting belief. And this act of growth takes time. And this is why you sometimes see somebody who starts at 21 and they have this confidence build up and they're doing great, and that self-limiting belief never shows up. And this is why others, well, they struggle with it. The ones that don't follow the plan and kept moving forward to the point where that self-limiting belief never comes back. Accountability is the critical aspect of what you need to do here. So do make sure you keep yourself accountable. My name is Nikos Rentas. This is MentorSupports.com. Hit that like button if you like what you see. Of course, hit the subscribe button to get your daily motivational idea to get you moving in the right direction. Of course, leave a comment below. Leave your story. What was it like when you were young and naive and felt this self-limiting belief and didn't allow you to do the things you wanted to do? Do you regret it? Do you wish you have done something? Leave it below. Who knows? Somebody might be reading that comment. You might help change your life.